Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, and how we're going to fix both of them together. The content that we're about to talk about is a full-on mutiny. The knives are coming out because Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski on The Morning Joe have committed heresy. For the far-left viewers of MSNBC, they went to Trump, they talked to him, they spoke to him, they opened up communications with Hitler, the devil himself, and the response is everything that you think it would be. It is all linked in the description box below. Let me hear you in the comments on this one and send this out because the left, which holds the gun controllers, is unraveling before our very eyes, exactly as we've been pushing for. Everything will be linked, as I mentioned, in the description box below. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on if you want to spread this freedom to and fro across this incredible nation and also counter the whole accidental subscription reduction that we're seeing right now. So thank you for that support. And guys, one of the things that I can guarantee you is going to happen, because the left is already starting to analyze this, they're already starting to lay groundwork for this. Anywhere that there's a blue state with a blue legislature and a blue governor, you're going to see them amp up the pressure on the gun rights in this nation. You're going to see an expansion of red flag laws. And red flag laws is one of the reasons that I partnered with USCCA, because they have the ability to defend you against them. They've been weaponized over the last 4 years, but now they've got salt in the wound, a brand new wound, and it's called Trump trifecta. They're going to come hard. So make sure you are ready. There's a link in the description box below. All the information is available. It's worth just a look to know your options and insulate yourself, particularly if you're behind the blue bastion of tyranny in this amazing nation, which is crumbling, by the way, but it is still there. Don't get caught unawares, guys. Just make sure you know the stuff that'll protect you and your family. And with that said, let's get into this because I am so amped. Oh, it's so beautiful to see. I'm going to gloat for a second. Here it comes. All right. So now, let's get to the brass tacks. What's going on? What is the heresy of the day? Well, I'm going to show you right now because the far left Morning Joe just stepped in it.
Over the past week, Joe and I have heard from so many people, from political leaders to regular citizens, deeply dismayed by several of President-elect Trump's cabinet selections, and they are scared. Last Thursday, we expressed our own concerns on this broadcast and even said we would appreciate the opportunity to speak with the president-elect himself. On Friday, we were given the opportunity to do just that.
Okay, hold on, I'm sorry. Did you see the hesitation right there? She knows she's about to get so much crap from her audience in MSNBC for the last 8 years. They have been feeding a steady diet of propaganda that Trump is Hitler to their audience. They've been one of the leading bastions. Remember that whole thing where Biden was the best Biden ever? Trump's the devil. You know, all those things for 7, 8 months, years. Yeah, all of a sudden now we get back to the point. But the hesitation was funny. But let's continue.
Went to Mar-a-Lago to meet personally with President-elect Trump. It was the first time we have seen him in 7 years.
Now, we talked about a lot of issues, including abortion, mass deportation, threats of political retribution against political opponents, and media outlets. We talked about that a good bit. And it's going to come as no surprise to anybody who watches this show, has watched it over the past year or over the past decade, that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of issues, and we told him so.
What we did agree on, well...
So you stood up to the monster, huh? While you went to Mar-a-Lago and you spoke to him on his ground as the president-elect with the complete trifecta in the Senate and the House and the White House? Yeah. You can already see how the responses are going to go. Let me finish. I'm so excited.
Was to restart communications. My father often spoke with world leaders with whom he and the United States profoundly disagreed. That's a task shared by reporters and commentators alike. We had not spoken to President Trump since March of 2020, other than a personal call Joe made to Trump on the morning after the attempt on his life in Butler, Pennsylvania. In this meeting, President Trump was cheerful, he was upbeat, he seemed interested in finding common ground with Democrats on some of the most divisive issues. And for those asking why we would go speak to the president-elect during such fraught times, especially between us, I guess I would ask back, why wouldn't we?
You know, it's a funny thing. Guys, stay with me. I don't know if you guys are with me and you've been, alive the last 8 years. Why wouldn't we? I can't imagine why the left would have a bit of a visceral response to this right here, because now Mika and Joe are starting to put a very fine shine on, we've got to communicate. After we got our faces stuffed in, it's time to extend the olive branch. After we're on the ground underneath the boot of the conservative landslide that took the entire nation right, in spite of you 8 years pushing your leftist propaganda. But now's the time to open communications. Hey, just hypothetical real quick, and then we're going to get to the responses. Do you really think that if Kamala Harris had won a full blue trifecta, do you think the extension of an olive branch and opening communications to Trump would have happened? Or do you think it would have been, nanny nanny boo boo, you're evil, we're virtuous, let's go and take this country so far left we're socialist light? I don't know. Anyway, let's let her wrap up and then I'll get to the comments.
5 years of political warfare has deeply divided Washington and the country. We have been as clear as we know how in expressing our deep concerns about President Trump's actions and words in the coarsening of public debate. But for nearly 80 million Americans, election denialism, public trials, and January 6th were not as important as the issues that moved them to send Donald Trump back to the White House with their vote. Joe and I realize it's time to do something different. And that starts with not only talking about Donald Trump, but also talking with him.
Oh, they stepped in it, guys. They stepped in it, because nothing like throwing out some blue-red meat right there for him. And, of course, red meat for the blue people. After 5 years of all of our constant propaganda, weaponization of the lawfare system, complete and total fabrications, it didn't work. You didn't believe me, so now we've got to bend the knee and go to acquiesce to Trump and say and acknowledge that, yeah, we need you. Yep. All right, let's get into this. Nikki Haley said a thing. I don't care. Let me show you what the left is saying here. Keith Olbermann, because this guy's always a bastion of rationality. Look, this isn't complex. Joe Scarborough has always been a political whore. Wow. Okay, let's continue. See what else is going on here. Oh, look at that. Some shady accusations have been dropped on Joe Scarborough somewhere magically out of the closet. That's so odd. 2001, something about an affair, something about a dead body in his office. That's weird how that didn't come out before. Oh, look at this. Keith Olbermann with a picture of Trump and Joe Scarborough. Breaking news. I told you so. Joe NBC and Morning Mika are Trump collaborators. Collaborators. That's a very interesting language. So you guys, of course, know collaborators means like Nazi collaborators. Like from World War II, where you would collaborate with the Nazis. Yeah. I'm glad to see they're moving forward. Not a word. Mr. and Mrs. Vichy Quisling, I don't know what that means, say can never be trusted again. Not that those words ever should have been trusted. They are confidence tricksters and grifters. Well, it's not going well. Brian Stelter got into play here. I was just reposting everything because he's him. And now the creme de la creme of... I can't say that. The creme de la creme of... wow. Oh, that's nice. Joe Scarborough and Mika from Morning Joe, their ratings plummeted, made a pilgrimage to Mar-a-Lago because they decided if you can't beat him, grovel for access and help normalize him again. Stop watching Morning Joe. Now... why is this so important and why are we covering it right here? Because this is literally how you get your rights back. You pummel them so hard electorally, they have no option but to double down into obscurity or to moderate. They have to be pushed to moderate. You're in the middle of the episode of them pushing to moderate. What you do now is you push common sense, conservative, freedom-oriented proposals, and you dare them to resist them because they are now in a stance of, we've got to appeal to the middle. Okay, well, here's your chance. Support this gun rights measure. Oh, what, you can't? I thought you were appealing to the middle. Are you far left or are you in the middle? Because the far left is now abandoning you. I just showed you. Now they have no audience. They're now homeless. Uh-oh. Well, let's see what you do with some actual conservative red meat, and then we'll test your bona fides. I don't believe a word you say. I think it's all about money. But either way, at the end of the day, potato, potato. If it works, it works. That's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. See you on the next one. Braden, later.